Hello, students. Welcome for Shamdeep and Hosh Kaldanis. Today, I have planned a new topic. Today, we are going to touch a new age, and that is Victorian Age. We are going to discuss the central features of the Victorian Age, and then obviously, our focus will be on the literature and the literary trends of the very age. As it is evident from the name Victorian Age that this very age is named after the very queen of that time, and the queen of that time was Queen Victoria. The On a general note, this very age, the Victorian age, can be categorized, can be classified into major sections that are based on the dominant trends of those of that age. Well, there were two types of trends on that time. There were two phases on that time, because the time, it was also a time of transition. Things were taking a turn from romantics towards modernists. So there was and on the other hand, we have found the emergence of scientific experimentation and the technological advancement. So the two major phases and two major dominant trends on that time were, on one hand, they had bent towards religion and morality, as we find in the poetry of Gerard Manley Hopkins. But on the other hand, there was skepticism because of the emergence and advancement of science and technology. And this sort of skepticism we can find in the poetry of Tennyson, and as well as in the poetry of Browning, because Browning can be considered in one of those poets who on that time have tried to write about the social aspects as well. And another very extraordinary feature of Robert Browning's poetry is that he has tried to maturize the use of dramatic monologues in his poetry. So his most of his poems are actually dramatic monologues, and a dramatic monologue is actually a type of poem in which the speaker or the narrator of the poem, he or she uses to address an imaginary audience. So most of his poems are based on this very concept. Most of his poems are dramatic monologues, and the very famous one is My Last Touches. Students, we were talking about the major trends and features of Victorian era. So the literature of Victorian era can be marked from the literature that is produced from 1837 to 1901. This literature can be entitled as Victorian literature, and this literature has two types of major trends. And the on one hand, there is a trend towards romanticism, and on the other hand, there is a trend towards modernism. So romantic and modernist, both of these traits can be found in the literary creations, in the literature, in the poetry, in the novel of the Victorian era. If we talk about the general features of Victorian era, then if we probe deep into the history of Victorian era, particularly if we talk about the reign of Queen Victoria, that very time period was extraordinarily the time of reformation and transition, because all the scientific inventions and the technological advancements, they were getting systematized on that time. And Queen Victoria herself, she had launched a lot of projects for the welfare of common man. So on the edge of Queen Victoria, she had tried her best to produce much for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of England, for the welfare of common men. But there were two trends that were again and again striking against each other: the morality and religion, and on the other hand, the skepticism and science. Let's discuss the major literary features of the time. As I have already discussed with you, that the two major trends are marked by the trend towards romanticism, and on the other hand, trend towards modernism. And there was so there in the literature of the romantic age, we can find the fusion of romantic as well as realistic style of writing. For example, throughout the Victorian age, the prominent poets Tennyson, Robert Browning, Gerald Manley Hopkins, their poetry is full of both of these elements: the religious morality, the religion, and on the other hand, science, skepticism, and social issues. When we talk about the Victorian novel tend to be idealized uh, uh, portraits of difficult lives in which hard work, perseverance, love, and luck win out in the end. So this kind of novels we can find in written in the Victorian era. The novelists on that time, they have tried their best to represent society as they find it, as they find it. And when we probe deep into the literary, particularly the novels of that time, we have come to know that the writers on that time, they have a very keen awareness towards the problems that have been created by the industrialization, and in the very domain of industrialization, they have never forgot to talk about the they have never forgotten to talk about the exploitation of women and children, and in the name of industrialization. And the novels, they are the best examples to to understand the evils, and these novels also provide the remedies to of all those social problems the women were facing on that time, and the children were facing on that time, and the whole society was suffering on that time due to the emergence of and due to the advancements of technology and science. First of all, literature of the Victorian age is tended to come face to face with realism, as I have already told you from the examples of novel. This reflects more on practical problems and interests. It becomes a powerful instrument for human progress on that time. And secondly, the Victorian literature seems to deviate somehow from the principle of art for art's sake, because the writers and the poets of the Victorian era, they have tried to use their literature for didacticism. They have tried to use literature for the advocacy of life. So their literature can be taken as the literature that can fall into the category of art for life's sake. By this, I mean to say that their literature is extremely didactic, because they have tried to didact their society about the problems of the society and about the remedies of those problems. When we talk about the characters of these novels, their characters have been taken from the real life, and some of them, they are representing the evil side of the society, and some of them are represented as the rebels who were trying to fight for their rights. And the bad characters, they are represented finding getting punishment, and the good characters, they are found winning at the end due to the struggle they have made for getting their rights, for claiming their right. The writers of that time, they were usually inclined towards being of improving nature with a central moral lesson. While this formula was the basis for much of the earlier Victorian fiction, the situation became more complex in the mid of the century, as well as when the time progressed. This very element of persistence of Victorian novel uh, had made a profound influence on the emerging realistic modernist literature and modernist novel and media as well. The plot of those novels were generally very long and complicated. There were many subplots on that times because the writers also wanted to give a mark of impression of reality, so that they presented not only the adventures of main characters but also those of the secondary ones. The celebrated writers of Victorian era, the prominent writers are Charles Dickens and Bronte sisters, and if we analyze their fiction in depth, then we can find the frequent use of the realistic themes, realistic characters, the characters that are suffering, or they are represented suffering in the society due to the changes of trends in the society, and there are characters who are fighting, who are the rebels. Like Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities is very important novel in this regard. And when we talk about the Bronte sisters, we can find the characters like Jane Eyre, who are fighting all alone on the grounds of society to get their rights, and this very turn is quite feminist in its approach. But we will discuss the feminist aspects later on, and we will discuss the novels of Bronte sisters separately. The other primary and important novelists of this time period are Thomas Hardy, Bronte sisters, Charles Dickens, George Eliot, and George Meredith. And we will discuss each and every writer with their celebrated works in our upcoming videos, in our next videos. First of all, my focus is to cover the major historical ages and the major historical features of the English literature. So I am focusing on the literary trends and literary features of different different ages of English literature. So today we have been discussed the Victorian era, the prime features of Victorian era, and the prime features of the literature of Victorian era, the prime poets, the important poets of of that time period, and the prominent novelist of that very time period, and the growing trends in their poetry and novels. We will discuss each and every poet and the novelist as well as the dramatist in our next sessions, in our next videos individually, and my focus definitely will be on the academically celebrated writers and academically celebrated poets. Another thing I have planned for my channel is to discuss the critical theories and literary theories. So we will soon share a video on the emerging critical theory and literary theory. Thank you very much for today. Allah Hafiz.